Hello, Real Talk with Mo. Glad you could join me. This is another reaction video. This is my first time seeing it. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. It's a video from Jubilee about men's rights versus feminism. And I'm gonna, comment and I'll stop it as we go to give my 2 cents. Just this, I love these videos, like I said, because they just show how real people are thinking, like random people. Some of these people aren't really random because I've seen some of these videos where these people are, they're either like YouTubers or they're something. They're doing something. They're doing something in that area. But you know, I like the back and forth sometimes of a conversation. People hate debate. People get too angry, too upset. I like that. Most of the time these are real smooth debates about, not debates, just conversations about stuff. So I'm gonna get into this one.
I know as a woman that I don't have the same physical strengths. Men and women are built differently. I think whenever things are built differently, it's for a reason, right? But at the same time, the amount of limits that have been put on women historically, like the fact that not too long ago we were just allowed to start voting. Even today, like the wage gap, just all types of stuff. Like women just don't have a lot of rights that are just, it should have nothing to do with what gender.
And again, this wage gap thing, I know people don't listen. They want to keep pushing it. Thomas Sowell gives good explanations. A lot of people do on wage gap, especially between men and women. It's when you put the same man versus the same woman as far as education, as far as experience. Usually, sometimes, or most of the time, they say women make more than men. It's when they take, like like married women, or they take like once married women, or women that don't, women that aren't working, and they try to go back into the field with the less experience, and that's when the gap happens for the most part. You gotta listen to a Thomas Sowell video about it, or even Ben Shapiro gets into it too. But it's false. What's so crazy is I go into all these places with nothing but women working there, nothing but women running it. So I don't even see men in these offices. Right, men are usually doing the construction jobs, or they doing outside jobs, or the more dangerous jobs. So sometimes they do get paid more money, but in like office businesses, I just don't see it. I see, like I said, the gap is not real. It's just something that people use.
We are to be able to be paid equally, or just be treated with respect. So, yeah.
I do believe that, of course, there are biological differences between men and women. And of course, there should also be legal equality. Of course, I disagree with the idea that women face systemic discrimination. You just mentioned the wage gap, which has been debunked so many times.
I've studied evolutionary biology quite a bit. And men and women are very different from not just a physical, the bone structure, the neurological department as well as the chemical balances. And also, I don't believe that men and women are equal under the law either, or they should be, rather. Children are not equal under the law. And it's not because we hate children, it's because we love them and we want to protect them.
So if you believe we're not equal, then that you're inferring that one would be greater than the other.
Well, so let me
so that's
chime in with my perspective.
Yeah.
As far as not being equal, I don't think that necessarily means.
I don't know what the hell Buddy's talking about, a little fat Buddy with the curly hair, because I don't know what he's getting to, because I don't know what he's talking about. He's getting. I get his first part. We not physically, definitely not the same, and also, emotionally we're not the same either. Like that's why men, tend to go to certain jobs, right? Men tend to, go to construction or working outside or stuff like that. And women go to caring and nurturing, nursing, office, different things like that, HR, stuff like that, right? So I get that part. Teachers, education, most women are, educated. So I get that part, but I don't know what he's talking about with not being equally treated under the law. He got to explain that, because that sounds pretty stupid.
Inferior or superior when it comes to certain things like roles like childbearing. A woman is going to be far more productive and a lot more nurturing than, say, a man. And when it comes to doing
a lot more of the heavy lifting and the work, a man is probably going to be more suited for that role. And I don't think that that makes them any better.
To be honest with you, I think they got some bad. They probably got some good talking men's right people for the men's side, but these are like kids. You got to get like men that are adults, that are like families and stuff like that. That I think know a little more, but we'll see.
Worse, we are just built, created, and born different.
I would also like to elaborate. I am not saying that they are worse overall.
See, I never seen this video, but I'm glad he's talking about it. Hopefully he elaborates, because he lost me on that one.
Or better overall.
They complement
like
each
he
other.
said, yeah, they do.
They complement each other
You know,
beautifully.
They work very well together.
We
when
need
they
each
are
other for
working in that
for offspring. I
yeah.
mean, that's part of the beauty of it, and I think trying to equalize them and make them the same, and transition and all that.
It was funny, these women's faces, bruh. The way they talking. I just gotta say that, but go ahead.
Don't believe is going to be the most conducive when it comes to the family, raising children, but also just for overall well-being.
I want to note that you brought up children being unequal to adults. I just hope you weren't comparing women to children.
I mean, it was technically a comparison of women and children.
I don't need you to protect me. I just need you not to harm me.
See, this is when the feminists get real crazy. I don't need you to protect me. I don't need that. That's when it just goes crazy. That's why she's getting real emotional. You see, there's the difference between our conversation. She's getting real emotional. I don't need you. Nobody's harming you. It's not a thing of men just harming women. And that's what men were made for. They were for protection, right? If we go back, centuries to hunting and gathering, that's what we men went out, protected the fort, protected the hut, went out, hunted, got the food. Women stayed with the kids. And I'm not saying that role has to be, that role is definitely not going on right now. Not even in my household. But what I'm saying is, you trying to jump too far. And this is why, I always talk about, but religion is, she's definitely not religious, for sure, just with her conversation, but it is what it is.
Protect myself. I'm very capable of doing what I need to do. Okay?
Okay, sure.
100%.
I am an incel, or an incel advocate, I suppose. I don't hate women at all. I think we're different, and they have aspects that are superior to men as well. It's just very contextual on the subject.
Toxic masculinity is real.
All the women are going to go on this one and watch this. And like I said, I've never seen this video.
I think that toxic masculinity is definitely a real thing. It's kind of just the idea of what masculinity should be, but it goes wrong a lot of the times, saying that violence, sex, power, being a controlling person makes you a man. I see it in very unfortunate places, like when
And this is what's crazy. This was going on every day. Women in a circle of women talking about something that they don't know about. Right? Something that they see, that they think they can understand, they think they understand, and this is what they've named it, or we've named it as society, but they just echo in it. It's like an echo chamber of them talking about it, and they don't really know about it. But let them go.
young men or boys in my family, even from like toddler age, are told you shouldn't be crying. Boys don't cry. And what that
I go with that too, but go ahead.
Turns into, I see it when I'm in a bookstore and a guy who tries to get my number says, "Why y'all always gotta act like that?" And he sincerely had this like cracking voice, like he was hurt, but it was an entitlement. And that's toxic masculinity. It's saying like, you don't realize how your behavior is harmful.
What does toxic masculinity mean? Is it character traits? Is it upbringing?
The suppression of feeling for a lot of men, because throughout childhood they're told man up. So because of that, there's a lot of repression. Repression then is usually channeled.
And then people become psychologists. I don't know what her background is, and they start trying to explain stuff, and it's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about, because this is not like real. This is just you explaining something the way you think it is. It's not true.
Anger for some people because they not always know how to express because they were told not to express.
So upbringing and
that's part of it.
Okay.
Yes.
but not something that's inherently a part of,
No.
of men.
No.
I think that, when you're showing your emotions, especially to random people, random women in some cases, they will view you as weak. I was raised by a single mother. I love her. She's my mom. I love her. But I could have used being told to act like a man. I think back, there were some.
See these longer videos, I'm gonna try to do them in 2 parts. I don't want to bore people to death with long videos.
Sometimes it's necessary to be strong for the benefit of not just yourself, but for the people around you. It's fine to act emotional in certain cases, but I don't think it's fine to act that way with a woman. Maybe you have a really good friend and he sees you cry, he's your best friend, and you're crying about something really personal.
This kid, he's got to be like a YouTuber or something like that, or like some type of thing, but whatever. Because he's so like, I don't know.
I think that's fine.
I feel like you're conflating 2 different situations, because you started off with saying a random person or even women. So it feels like, okay, this is a woman that you don't have a bond with or any type of relationship with. And then you mentioned, or in front of your best friend. That's okay to cry. Well, that woman could be your best friend. That, so.
I don't think you're friends with a woman, so.
Because you don't see us as equal, as you said before.
I don't think showing emotions is a sign of weakness. I actually think it's a sign of strength. Men do live shorter lives, and that's because of a repression of emotion.
See, here we go. You talking like that's not true. There's nothing to back what she's saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part. People spurt this out all the time.
And that's due to many things that patriarchy has instilled. It has been shown that a person's well-being, their lifespan is shortened when they are not able to express their emotions. In addition, when they don't have physical touch or when they don't have a partner to keep them company. We are human beings here. We need to talk to each other. And if you think that our health isn't affected when you're not able to express that you are sad or upset, you're wrong. I think that men's rights activists are only men's rights activists as a response to women expressing that they want more equality. I don't think they focus on actual men's rights issues, and rather it's just an attack on women and feminism.
Today,
And that's exactly how she's coming off. The same way she's being defensive.
women have more advantages than men.
They're just being like so typical, but it is what it is.
I can speak from a hiring standpoint when it comes to things like affirmative action, and there are certain roles that traditionally men and women have been able to serve in, and now women can basically do all of those things, right? Because we've had such a strong advocacy for equal representation in the workplace. Whereas, for example, you'll never find a man as a midwife nurse, and I don't think it's appropriate. That's why there are those differences.
Women in the most important parts of society have an advantage. There's a lot of positions that men simply aren't getting hired at anymore.
See, this is why when it comes to men's rights, I'm very because it almost starts to sound like whining, like complaining. When men, we do can have most of it, right? But we're supposed to. There's a thing, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's like that's like being in the safari and complaining that the male lion is the king of the jungle type of thing. It just doesn't make sense.